I do have some bad news.
What?
Sephora catering is done.
Oh,
I was like, oh, where's my breakfast sandwich?
no more muffin sandwiches.
No more muffin sandwiches. English muffin sandwiches, just for the record.
Malware is a non-technical look at the tech news of the week.
This is a podcast where we learn together about everything from crypto to AI to whatever comes next in tech. I'm Natasha Hoskins.
I'm Dina Burke.
And this is Boys Club.
Wait, is it just Boys Club?
It's just Boys Club.
The Boys Club podcast?
No. Just Boys Club.
Hello. How's it going?
Good. Welcome to Malware.
It's where we talk about the tech news from the week and sometimes bring on very smart people to talk about a tech trend or tech idea.
I think an important distinction is we're a non-technical look at the tech news of the week.
Deeply untechnical.
And
non-technical.
Deeply untechnical, deeply unserious at times.
I saw a tweet the other day that I really liked from our friend Reggie. He said, please stop referring to yourself as non-technical. Tell us what you are. And I really liked it. And I thought, what you just said really makes a lot of sense. Unserious.
Yeah, we're not technical. We're unserious. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about a few things. We are going to be talking about the OpenAI drama. We are going to be talking about Kamala Harris touching ever so gently on crypto and what that means. And then we're also going to be talking about the Crypto National Convention, a fun, unserious project that we're loving right now. We are talking about onboarding in crypto, onboarding in Web3, big conversation that's happening all over the timeline right now. And Privy is addressing it very squarely head on. And so we had a great chat with her about the work that she's doing there.
Give it a listen.
OpenAI, Real Housewives level drama happening here.
I cannot wait. I honestly have been avoiding it because I wanted to hear directly from you. You're the only person I wanted to learn from.
The girlies are being so dramatic.
Dreama.
Note for Kate, you gotta edit in the "That's my opinion"
the best
clip.
That's
the
my
best.
opinion.
It can be used in so many situations. Yeah. Very dramatic few days over there at OpenAI HQ. So here's what happened. A few big things, and there's also some breaking news this morning. The first one, a bombshell on the timeline.
Huge.
Mira Murati is leaving. She's out. Mira Murati, CTO OpenAI, this was yesterday. She released an amicable statement saying that she's leaving OpenAI. She is going to do everything that she can to ensure a smooth transition.
Transition of power.
Transition of power. She's loved the time. She's all the things that she's done. It's been incredible, 6 years. And she's moving on to explore new opportunities.
Okay. I wanted to do a tweet last night that was like a joke that was essentially trying to hire her
That would have been funny.
at Voice Club. I couldn't craft it exactly, but I was like, it's there. There's something there, but I didn't get to it in time.
So that happened first, and everyone was like, whoa, my gosh. Last year, famously, there was a big shuffle. Sam was out, board shakeup, all the drama that happened last year with OpenAI leadership. Mira Murati was kind of the holdout through that shakeup and drama that happened. And
there's 4 founders, and in the big shakeup, it was like 2 of the band were against, and Mira was with Sam. And it was all, if anybody remembers, it was all the hearts. Everybody was sending hearts to each other on Twitter.
I remember that.
Which is so, I was like, this is the leader of our future, and we're just hitting heart emojis back and forth.
Oh my gosh. And yeah, so Mira was kind of staying on side and has stayed on side for the last year as there's been further leadership shakeups. And so she's kind of always been seen as like she's in, and that's been important for optics because she's the CTO.
Yeah.
And so her leaving was a huge hit. Then there was more that hit the timeline. 2 other people that announced that they were leaving. Bob McGrew, the chief, my lip flip is kicking in.
I'm so jealous. I need one so bad.
I got a fresh lip flip.
Oh, I saw a picture of myself the other day and I was like, oh, that upper lip needs to be Botoxed.
Apologies to the listeners. You can probably hear it. I'm doing my best. Bob McGrew, chief research officer. He was notably a very public voice of O1 just a few weeks ago. So he was taking interviews.
Was he part of the Band of Brothers in that
He was
video?
One of the Band of Brothers. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And so he's out. Chief Research Officer is out. And then this person, Barrett Zoff, VP of post training. So 3 high profile exits. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. Then Sam drops a tweet on the timeline. It's this long tweet that's basically like, in so many words, he's saying leadership changes happen all the time. So get the fuck over it. And it's normal and everything's fine. Mira's been great. We love her. Everyone's leaving amicably. One of the things he said was like Bob and Barrett both made their decisions independently and they're leaving independently, and like, get over it, everyone. This happens. We're a big, important company, and big, important companies go through changes.
They're not all leaving together?
They're not. Well, who knows? But
who knows?
I don't think
Okay,
so.
that wasn't part of the story.
That wasn't part of the story. I mean, a lot of people are saying that they're going to Anthropic and they're going to rival companies, but that wasn't really a part of any of the public statements.
Okay.
One very interesting fact, which was revealed in Sam's tweet, was that he said that Mira Murati, when she told him she was leaving, she had told him this morning he was leaving.
I saw this. I saw someone highlighted it, screenshot, highlight, post it.
If you're CT, that to me,
Something's amiss.
signals something's really, really amiss.
She freaked out. Or she knows Sam and she was like, I gotta
I
go.
can't tell. We can't talk about it in advance, and I just have to do it on the day.
I just have to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
I imagine her like calling her best friend and being like, I think I just have to do it. Like, I think I just have to do it.
But like, if I knew you were leaving Boys Club, if you were going to leave Boys Club, we would be talking about it for months and months and months and months and months and months.
My last job that I left, 3 months, 3-month exit
Yeah.
for not the CTO of OpenAI. I can assure you that. So that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. What has become a part of the story is governance drama. So basically, what was confirmed by Reuters this morning, so it's Thursday morning, just confirmed in an article, is that Sam is interested in restructuring OpenAI from a nonprofit to a B Corp, a benefits corporation. Benefits corporations are for profit, and benefits corporation. We can talk about benefits corporations. I have a whole baggage, a B Corp baggage with them. But basically, it's a for profit, and the key differences are currently OpenAI is run by a nonprofit. That means you have to answer. Sam essentially has to answer to a nonprofit board.
Yeah.
This change, this restructuring, corporate restructuring, would get rid of the nonprofit board. It makes it much more attractive to investors. Reportedly, Sam would get a 7% equity stake. After the restructuring, the company could be valued at $150 billion.
That's
crazy.
Insane.
Another key difference is that right now, I think you'll remember when we've done some reporting on OpenAI, is that they have that cap on returns for investors. That would leave.
Oh,
there's no longer
very nice.
no longer a cap on what can be returned to investors.
Okay, wow.
The nonprofit will continue to exist, but it would just own a minority stake. And basically, it just becomes a for-profit company. B Corps, they are for-profit companies that aim to create a positive impact on society and the environment in addition to making a profit. My experience with B Corps, they were really big in like 2013, 2014, 2015.
That, yeah.
And there's a certification process, and there is like reporting and accountability that you need to do to make sure that it's doing this sort of dual benefit of benefit for society and the profits. But it's also a little...
I always, whenever I hear someone's like, we're a B Corp, I'm like, oh, that's just like a tax loophole thing for you.
Either a tax loophole thing, or honestly, why I was involved with it was because it was like a marketing thing where you get the B Corp
B certification
stamp on your
Jenny
thing.
Kang has that or something.
Yeah, and like it's like on the milk carton, and it's like a little B with a circle. And Patagonia Kickstarter from
the good old days.
Good old days.
I saw a really funny tweet today that said, this is from Netcap Girl, who's very funny. Sam Altman faced with the difficult choice of, quote, continue running a nonprofit, end quote, or, new quote, $10 billion.
I think that sums it up.
It's really funny.
But yeah, the B Corp thing is so weird. It's such a throwback. And
do you think it's just like, softening the blow of them going from nonprofit instead of like going full C Corp?
Perhaps that's where we're at with OpenAI story.
I can't wait to see where Mira ends up. I cannot wait to see. For someone like her, I wonder what sort of challenges you are excited to solve and why those couldn't be at OpenAI. And curious if part of what it was the structure changing from a nonprofit to a corporation, essentially.
That's the speculation, is that it's no longer tenable. Has there ever been a more fundable person to exist ever?
Ever. Oh my gosh. Wow. If she's looking for angel investors in her next venture, please reach out.
Hey, Mira, we have a couple $2,000 checks for you. We're going to talk about Kamala Harris. There is an incredible impersonation. Did you see the woman who's walking into McDonald's and she does the Kamala Harris? Oh my God, it's incredible. It really made me laugh a lot. I'll drop it in the show notes. Here, Kamala Harris has said her first words about crypto since starting her presidential election campaign. There's been a lot of chat about it on the timeline, but basically a couple things have happened. On the 22nd, a couple days ago, she mentioned digital assets. She said she wants to encourage innovative technologies like AI and digital assets while protecting our consumers and investors. That was on the 22nd. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, digital assets.
That's me.
And exactly. Okay. Kamala is pro crypto. And then everyone else was like, she didn't say anything. That's not her being pro crypto. That's not enough.
Yeah.
And there was some backlash to the excitement. And I kind of get it because it's very thin.
It was also like such pick me energy. To me, I felt embarrassed.
The fighting on the timeline about it.
The excitement on the timeline about it. Like, it's equivalent to like a guy who just like doesn't like you that much and then like maybe says your name one time and then she's like, oh my God, he's in love with me.
That's the whole vibe I'm getting from honestly all of this. You know, when you have a crush on someone and they're sending you texts and you're like, every single word you're interpreting.
Totally.
Every single word. Just the spaces, the punctuation.
Totally.
And they're not thinking about it at all.
No, I haven't thought about you at all.
That's what the timeline is doing right now to everything that Kamala's saying about.
I 100% agree.
And it's really cringe. Anyway, that happened on the 22nd. She mentions digital assets. Chaos ensues. Then yesterday, the 25th, she said that she wants the U.S. to, quote, remain dominant in blockchain, artificial intelligence, and other nascent technology industries. And then she goes on to really kind of anchor that statement in and around American competitiveness. I'd say generally she is having trouble connecting with voters on her economic policy views. And so I think that the last couple of days we've seen more from her on that because that has been like a market issue for her in her campaign. So that was the second statement.
Okay.
People are saying that it's still not enough and the remain dominant piece is curious because if she really meant that, she would fire Gary Gensler now. I don't think she can.
She can't.
She can't. So that feels like a
stupid thing to say. Her mentioning blockchain by name, I think, is more certainly than digital assets. It feels better. I can't get over the analogy of dissecting a crush's text where you're like, well, what do you think? And being a good friend and being like, well, it could mean there's like an Office clip where he's listening to a voicemail that he like starts sleeping with his boss and so, like she's leaving a voicemail and she was like, I missed you, and he's pausing it and having Pam, his secretary, or not secretary, like the whatever, her role, you know her, and having her dissect it, and he's like, she missed me. She missed me. And she was like, no, like, she missed you. And it's like, it's that. It's exactly
so
that. Embarrassing.
It's exactly that. It's so embarrassing. Anyway, blockchain mentioned. Now, Democrats are all the ones who are pro crypto and sort of outspoken on being pro crypto and pro Web3, blockchain, whatever, are all taking this as an opportunity to go on all the news shows and say that this is her resetting on crypto. And then another thing is Mark Cuban has come out. A lot of love for Mark Cuban lately.
I love him.
There it is. There's some more love for Mark Cuban.
I love him.
I think I need to get caught up on the Mark Cuban lore. I never watched.
Me neither. Shark Tank? No, it's triggering to me. A fundraising environment is not what I want to watch on a Thursday evening at home.
Anyway, Mark Cuban has put out a statement that said that she does not want to do regulation by enforcement, which is a big part of the issue that the crypto industry takes with the current administration, Gary Gensler certainly, and by extension is what people are sort of mapping onto her. So that feels positive, and it seems like he's in cahoots with her. And
Great.
is talking,
Yeah, I think he's like a pretty open Democrat.
yeah, and I think is working with her team. I think that's
Cool.
been talked about. So anyway, that's what's going on.
Would you vote for Mark Cuban if he was running for president?
There are a lot of things to consider.
That's such a political response. I'm watching Veep right now, rewatching Veep, and there's a season where she has like this advisor woman who says nothing.
Oh,
and
I love that character so much.
I love this character, and she's always like, "Well, it could be, but it also couldn't be." And that was exactly the answer you just gave me.
Exactly.
I like a non-politician. I like the idea of a non-politician being president.
Yeah, totally.
I guess that's why people like Donald Trump, I guess.
That is why people like Donald Trump. But I think that's also why people are finding Tim Walz to be so
Compelling
too, is because he's not a career politician. One more thing I'll put into the conversation here. Two more things. First is that I saw an article. I can't remember who wrote it. If I could credit you, I would know that. I always love to credit people, but I can't think of where I
Don't
got this
worry.
from. The article was talking about how people are talking, the Trump campaign specifically, are talking about how crypto is a voting block. And you saw this, what's his name? The super problematic guy who talks about the guy who sort of went off the rails.
There's so many. There's so many. Could be anybody.
The Masari guy who like went off.
Oh, Ryan Selkis. He got some press where he was talking about 53 million people in I
America.
remember this. Yes,
own
and
crypto.
I took umbrage.
I don't know.
Umbrage.
We are umbraging this. He's
Yeah, because I was like, these people are not single issue voters. That's a stupid thing to say.
totally. And so he's talking about how these 53 million people, they own crypto, they have some whatever. And to your point, they're not single issue vote. That's a crazy stat to pull out. But the Trump campaign in particular is definitely courting to the crypto voter. He went to the Bitcoin bar the other night, had that press moment.
I missed that. Thank God.
Good for you. But what it does represent, and perhaps why he is leaning into it so much, is that it represents a fundraising block more than it is a voting block.
Oh my God. How have I never thought about that?
So smart. So
smart. Why?
So
stupid.
whoever had
Stupid that I didn't even put that together.
Whoever had that, you got it. A+.
You got it.
So it's like it's just dollars from these big entrenched players to try and get the politicians on side, and it represents campaign money more than it represents actual voters. And I think that that's important to keep in mind. And I want to end here with a conversation about the Crypto National Convention, which really brings it home to what crypto people do care about in this election, which is betting.
Truer things have never been said.
Where can we gamble? Some more. So Crypto National Convention was put together by the wacky guys at Pleaser DAO. And basically it's just good fun. So don't take this too seriously and don't think about it too much. It's really not that serious. And my advice to you is to not get offended by this. I would say that would be a waste of your offense energy. So they set up this little microsite, and basically what you do is it's on chain. You buy votes to become a delegate.
Okay.
And once you're a delegate, you can cast your vote for either Kamala Harris or Donald Trump.
Okay.
And so you basically put your money on one of the two candidates. Then there will be some period of time when that voting period is over, and there will be a winner of the Crypto National Convention.
Okay.
Right now, Kamala Harris is leading by 51%. Donald Trump has 49% of the votes.
Wow, tight race.
Yeah. It wasn't always so tight. When I voted, Kamala had 70%. And then when I looked later in the day yesterday, Donald Trump had gotten a ton of votes. So it's been going back and forth. So someone is going to win. And then basically what the Pleaser DAO guys are going to do is take all the money that have been put into this and pool it together.
Okay.
And then place a bet on Polymarket.
Wow.
In that there's like one big huge Polymarket market that has like $1 billion of money or something that's been staked in it. That is about who's going to win the presidential election. And so they're going to basically pool the funds of everyone who voted and put it into
Okay.
the poly market bet based on whoever wins. And then whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And if we all made the right bet,
You'll get paid out.
you get paid out in this. There's like
Fun.
it's a tokenized, the American
Fun.
token that they're distributing. So really fun, really fun.
I love that. I need to jump on in.
You should jump in. Yeah, it feels kind of like a Constitution Down moment.
Okay. So fun. I love it.
Very fun. And it's the world's first tokenized poly market bet, and a little convoluted, but also
What's not in crypto?